Hello, my name is Douglas Hryniuk, and I am an aspiring screenwriter. Asperger syndrome is a mild form of autism. I possess a good amount of knowledge of interesting things, in my case, movie and television trivia, but unfortunately, I lack the basic social skills and can be prone to outbursts or panic attacks. Not so much now as I was then. I was diagnosed when I was about 6 or 7. You're born with autism. So likewise, you're born with Asperger syndrome. To me, I believe that someone who is autistic is severely impaired and has trouble speaking or thinking like a normal human being, whereas Asperger syndrome is very mild and you can have a normal conversations, but like autism, you have these routines that are hard to break and these thinking and speaking patterns that can be extremely random. Asperger syndrome has the mild weaknesses that come with autism, but not the strong ones. Something you have till you die, just like bipolar disorder or, well, autism. I am on what's called amitriptyline. It works well. It doesn't completely control my anxiety or my temper. That can come naturally, like those without it. But alleviates the severity of my condition. It prevents my brain from having a complete meltdown, although it doesn't always prove successful. A lot of what I have to do is learn to control my moods myself. Those with Asperger syndrome are much comfortable when they're in a very predictable environment. A break from routine can cause them to be unsure about where this new situation will take them. So they prefer to stick to what they do all the time. I can't play sports anymore because I'm afraid that it might trigger a relapse in my behavioral problems. Sports puts a lot of stress on me. I've stayed away from things that would trigger the nasty side of Asperger's. Other times, you have no choice, you have to stick it up. And I've learned to stick it up recently. In terms of my overwhelming interest in film, I will never grow out of it. Well, I just realized my rebellious tendencies were hurting everyone around me. So I decided to call it quits on that. I just felt the time to stick it out was now. I live a fairly reclusive life. I don't get much visitors in my apartment other than family. And that's why I've gotten better. I've accepted certain things. Right now, I feel that I'm where I want to be. I used to have this tremendous fear of failure, in which I would just not try anymore. But I realized that I couldn't just live in my fantasy world where I'm a writer in for a fantasy studio. I had to do the work. I decided it was high time to start writing, and this is what's going to happen in the next few days. Like, at one point, I didn't have a driver's license, I didn't have an apartment, and I didn't have a job. But then I got my driver's license, I got my apartment, I got a whole lot of other things. I had a job temporarily, a good paying job, and chances are I'll find another one with the help of the March of Dimes. And once I resolved those problems with my life, then I got the confidence I needed to start writing like I intended to. Because of all that, I now feel really good about myself. So, yes, I look at myself as an outsider and an eccentric, but I feel the world needs more people outside the normal social status. They look at the world in a completely different way, and it helps them lead themselves, let alone the rest of society, to a positive future. I'm really looking forward to my new life as a writer. And I'm quite happy about that. So, I bid you adieu.